Hi, it's Romy. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Scorpio, this is your December reading. So if you are sun, rising, or have your moon in Scorpio, then this may well resonate for you. If it doesn't, please check out the rising and the moon signs also. This is a general reading. If you would like to support my channel, you can go ahead, drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed as well. And there's also the option to purchase an extended reading. This all helps to support the work that I do. And please stay tuned in December because I'm going to be posting out your 2020 annual readings. So if you're subscribed, you won't miss the notification for that either. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so that you can see the cards that I'm pulling for you for this month in a little bit more detail. We'll go ahead and get started, see what's coming out for you. Thanks. Okay, Scorpio, December 2019. We're into Sagittarius season. So would have been a lot of reflecting through your solar returns, and with Mercury still in the shadow phase of its retrograde, I feel like many of you will still be in that self-reflection, deep dive kind of energy where you're weighing things up. But Sagittarius, that sun energy is going to help you to reconcile, I feel, where you now stand as we move toward the end of this year, and consider how you intend to move into a very different vibrational energy of 2020, drawing a line under those things that perhaps haven't quite met with your expectations or have left you feel in some way not quite fully aligned with the dreams, the desires, the hopes of what you had expected this year would deliver for you. So in Sagittarius season, we are activating your second house of finance. And maybe for some of you, you're in a moment right now where I feel like you're transforming that whole sense of lack in your life, okay? There may be situations or circumstances right now where you feel somewhat isolated. And in some ways, you might be actually kind of calling that energy out because you need it. You need it for a moment to just actually be able to process. There seems to me, as I'm tuning into the energy, like some kind of huge shift and transformation that's happening in and around your ability to receive and give yourself permission to have that level of abundance come through to you. Now, it doesn't just have to be abundance from a material perspective, although activating your second house, for many of you, there's going to be a really strong focus around that part of your world. But this is also about your self-worth, your self-esteem. You know, so where there have been situations that have left you feeling vulnerable or isolated, or maybe just feeling like things haven't quite transpired in the way that you expected them to, we're in this moment where there's this powerful shift and this almost sense of having to recalibrate what the vision looks like. It's not that you have to let it go, but there's adjustments I feel that you're making as we come into the start of this month. Now, Jupiter, planet of growth and expansion, of opportunity, that beautiful benevolent energy that it brings, moving out of Sagittarius and into the sign of Capricorn. So this is a placement that's going to be with us all through 2020, and the energy of this is one of bringing that dose of sort of realism into our worlds. It says, okay, how do we make our own luck? How do we have that sense of self-reliance? And for those of you that are in the process of really transforming what the theme of lack means in your life, and you know, whether that is a lack of love, a lack of financial stability, a lack of energy, it doesn't matter. There's a transformation that's taking place with that Jupiter moving into Capricorn that's helping you to find your voice and express yourself. It's activating your third house, all about communication, Scorpio. So I feel like it's just helping you to find your voice about what it is that you need, what the adjustments are that you know you want to make, and how that's going to change. And it's going to help you in Sagittarius season to then create a new blueprint for an ability to be able to bring that kind of realization, that manifestation into your world. Okay, so we have King of Pentacles coming through, and again, almost the complete polar opposite of that Five of Pentacles. So this is exactly the journey that we're moving from, a place of lack, from a place of feeling isolated or vulnerable, to an energy that says there's this powerful sense of emotional security, financial stability, just feeling much more at ease, much more content with what it is that you're creating and drawing into your world. Now, of course, we could be dealing with an earth sign here, Scorpio, so you might have a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn who is in the equation right now. Perhaps for some of you, you maybe feel slightly isolated from this person, or there has been some challenging situations that have gone on. So you may be looking to reconcile within yourself what the next step is. I think as that Mercury shadow is still in transit up until the 7th, it may be more challenging to be able to find the right kind of communication. So it's almost like I feel the guides are saying wait till that timing has moved through, and then you're going to have a little bit more of a realization or an awareness about what feels right for you in terms of the next step. I think for those of you that are looking around some kind of situation to do with finance, and we have a lot of that theme through December because the Gemini full moon on the 12th is activating your 8th house of transformation. Now as a Scorpio, you rule the 8th house, so this placement is comfortable for you. But it does activate that money side. It's other people's money, it's inheritance, it's that debt aspect. And Gemini, this full moon is about the revelation. It's about bringing something to the surface. 8th house is the house of secrets. So perhaps something from a financial perspective coming up and into the light so that you can deal with it. Now in 8th house is other people's money. So actually for some of you Scorpio, particularly from a work perspective, you might be dealing with some sort of situation that needs to get resolved, that has either maybe left you short in terms of expectation of what was going to happen, or you weren't fully in the picture, but everything's now coming to light. It certainly shows me that there is more of a sense of security coming through with that, however. Okay, so we are transitioning from that 5 of Pentacles into the King of Pentacles energy. What's interesting is the Gemini full moon, Gemini rules the 3rd house. Okay, so when we're talking about as we move into Capricorn season, it being in your 3rd house. And remember, both Pluto and Saturn, which are now moving direct and moving toward this conjunction in early January, are also in your 3rd house as they're in Capricorn. So this interesting kind of 3rd house, 8th house activity that's happening around that full moon, I feel is really showing the relationship, okay, about how you communicate your story of worth, what you see as holding value in your life, how you look at yourself in terms of that sense of worth, and then making new plans, making adjustments, and actually being able to communicate that. And I think that's important because for some of you, particularly with a focus not only in relationships but also in work, this is about you having to say to somebody else, this is what I'm worth, this is the value that I bring to a situation, and you need to recognize that, and adjustments have to take place because of it. So I think there's an important shift and transition that's taking place. So any internal processing that you're finding you're still going through, take the time that you need is what I want to say at that early part of December while the Mercury is still in shadow phase, to just come into full alignment from this on an emotional perspective, okay? So we have 3 of Wands energy coming in, linking really nice into the Sagittarius energy for me, because I always see the 3 of Wands about this bigger vision, what you see for yourself, what you are considering as the steps that you need to take in order to fully realize something, and being prepared to go the extra mile, putting yourself in a position that says, I'm prepared to step up if I know the rewards are there. I'm prepared to put myself forward. I'm prepared to put my hat in the ring, so to speak. This could be from a relationship perspective. You might be having that kind of discussion with somebody in your life right now, Scorpio, and saying, okay, here's what I need from you. This is what I'm prepared to do to step up in this situation. But this is the vision that I have for the future. Let's make sure that we're fully aligned so that we don't come back around to a similar situation where, you know, one or other individual is feeling somehow outside in the cold, or things just haven't been fully understood, or there's that sort of misunderstanding taking place. For those of you with a focus in and around work and career, I think this month of December, even though it has that quality of wanting to perhaps, you know, wrap things up and kind of there's a sense of completion and endings, we also have this big picture and you really looking to say, how can I make my world feel more secure? What are the bigger themes that I'm focused on as I'm moving ahead into the year? So I think you're going to be quite enlivened and quite passionate about some of the inspirations and thoughts and ideas that you've got through this month of December, Scorpio. And I think you need to run and allow that energy to flow. You know, third house also is about the day-to-day use of technology. With that being the house of communication, it's interesting as we move into Capricorn season, I think some of you will be looking at different ways that you can utilize technology in your world to get your point across. So particularly for those of you, if you're looking to expand your business, for example, or you have ideas in terms of the career or the work that you're in, I feel like you're bringing in new ways of working that are going to streamline and really help you to spread your network. I feel like I've got more information, more connections, more ideas flowing much more freely. We also have Mars in Scorpio at the moment. Mars loves to be in Scorpio. It's very at home in your sign. And again, this is really beneficial for you, giving you that sense of motivation and the energy and the passion actually to realize what it is that you want for the future and what you're prepared to do to make that happen. So I have quite an interesting polarity, which makes sense with the Gemini full moon this month and that dualistic nature anyway that's being brought into the light. But I have quite a polarity that has you looking inwards and doing some of that quiet, deeper contemplation and almost having to deal with emotional issues and situations that have arisen that haven't quite played out in the way that you expected them to. But then all of a sudden getting this rush and burst of new energy that says, actually what it's helped me to discern and understand is where I need to make changes in my world. So we have Tower energy coming through, definitely linking into that Scorpio Pluto energy for me. So there's this sense of transformation that's taking place still with you as we approach the end of this year. And I think that if you have had situations that have felt like they've really rocked your world of late, because for me, I feel like this is energy that we're in the midst of and clearing through, not necessarily that is just up ahead on the horizon. And you're still sort of trying to think about how do I rebuild that. Rest assured, actually, with these energies coming through with the King and the Three of Wands, I feel like you're getting some really strong visionary and visceral feel. It's like this beautiful blend for me of this kind of fire and earth energy where you've got the motivation and the passion to see something through and to move yourself over the line to start afresh. And you've got that wonderful practical earthy energy of the King showing up to really help you to realize something, to do the consistent work and put the time and effort into to make a change or make an adjustment in your world, or even to have that kind of stoic sense of revival if you need it after a period of something that has caused some sort of upset or challenge in your life of late. So we have the star energy coming through, which I think is perfectly timely right at the center of your reading to say, actually, you know, everything that you have been experiencing of late, the adjustments, the changes, the challenges, you know, are getting this beautiful, almost celestial level of kind of healing and protection. It's almost like, you know, this wound, this upset, this shift that's really, you know, perhaps something that you're still kind of working through, either on an emotional level, on a material, on a physical level. There's this lovely kind of healing elixir that comes through for me that is helping to give a sense of renewal and hope. That calm after the chaos. That's the perfect epitome of that Tower moving into star energy, right? This could also be an Aquarius that some of you are dealing with, Scorpio. If it is, or it's this earth sign, from a relationship perspective, perhaps you have been through some kind of turbulence or upset, or there has been significant arguments or fallout, but that star energy is giving you the opportunity, should you want it, because I think that's important. Remember, when we talk about this, you finding your voice, it's about, you know, is this right for me? Is this the kind of energy that I want to be around and how I want to connect moving forward? So if you want it, I think there's an opportunity through this month of December to have some kind of peace come into that situation. Not necessarily full resolution, but definitely a platform with which you can reconnect to discuss, talk, and clear something out is what I want to say. So 3 of Pentacles energy coming through. We have 2 3s showing up in your reading here. So for me, this is the reminder about the ability to manifest, to bring something new into your world. And I think that's why we have to have that Tower energy sometimes, right? It's that deconstruction, that profound shift and change that comes into our life from an external force, you know, not something that we ever planned, not necessarily something that we ever asked for, but it comes in nonetheless, and then we're left to deal with what that means to us. But actually at those moments in time, you know, it's like a tipping point, a crossroads. And interestingly, that Gemini full moon has a very interesting tipping point, as we have Saturn, Venus and Pluto all coming into conjunct, and it's almost this point of saying, okay, now this has happened, I have the chance to change something completely, irrevocably actually. So should you be in that position, Scorpio, for some of you, this is the time that you get to say, okay, how do I want to build a new foundation now? Because I can build something that feels based upon a much more, I want to say, honest lens, right? An honest lens. It's like you're looking at it from a completely, almost like raw perspective, but that can also be very powerful because as a sign anyway, your deep intuitive psychic connection already helps you to link in and understand the nuances and the layers of energy and the way that things are unfolding and why, and certainly the agendas of individuals, and you know, you get to see a picture of things that many of the other signs don't see in the same way. So we have this interesting point where there's like this very kind of realist lens, and you know, that definitely plays into this placement of Jupiter and Capricorn as well, that says, okay, there is opportunity to completely transform something here, to bring in big changes, but I need to be really honest about what didn't work before. And then once I fully implement that wisdom and that knowledge, you know, you can see the scroll here with all the writing. For me, this is just representative of everything that you've gone through. And it might be, you know, you've tried it every which way, but there's still another perspective that can come and that is set to emerge through this month of December, I feel, for you, Scorpio, that's really going to help you to move forward and do something different. And, you know, this is the laying of new plans, this is the laying of new foundations, and actually feeling very hopeful about that as well. So this is you moving into 2020 with a sense of, for me, like a quiet confidence that you're all right. You're all right, and you know what you want, and you're prepared to find your voice and speak your truth, and move towards it in a consistent way, and not make any apology for who you are and what you need. 7 of Pentacles energy coming in. I feel for some of you there's perhaps been a complete shift or a change in and around your work or career, or you're certainly contemplating it at the moment. You're looking at where those areas of your life that haven't quite met with your desire, like with what you wanted. So there's this deep assessment time that's going on still through this month of December. Add into the equation with that, it can be a very emotional, sentimental time of the year, Scorpio. So, you know, there's probably a looking back over, particularly on the relationship perspective, how things transpired in the way that they did. And I think what's really good about this and the energy that I'm getting through is that you're really looking within yourself as well to say, okay, how did I play into that energy dynamic or that story that played out? Not from a position of blame at all, that's not what I mean, and not from a position of judgment to you or anybody else. This is a period of assessment where you're getting to understand yourself on a whole new level, because remember that 3rd house activation in Capricorn energy specifically is just this quest for you to be able to speak your truth and say what you need and what you want in a more open way. And for a sign that can be very private, very insular, very deep, it's not always easy to be able to fully express that. So there's this huge change taking place within you.
that I think has come as a result of this deconstruction energy that the Tower has brought into your world, okay? A lot of earth energy coming through in this reading. So if for some of you, you are dealing specifically with an earth sign or somebody that you have found to be very fixed in their outlook or their approach to how they've engaged with you, whether this be on a personal or a professional basis, I also see you coming to a point where you are able to communicate more clearly what it is that you need to change. Okay, another earth coming through here. So this could be a Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn that we're looking at. We have now the King and Queen of Pentacles here. So I think for some of you where you are in a relationship and you are looking to bring about more harmony and peace into the equation, it's certainly shown here. Powerful sense of more security and stability coming through. Queen of Pentacles for me is also just talking to me about your resourcefulness through this month of December. So for some of you, if you're really focused in and around finances, maybe you've come through a situation or a sense of hardship or a difficult time, your ideas and inspiration and the ability to just get things done and come up with a new direction or a new approach is going to be really strong, okay? I feel I've got energy and I'm very focused. I feel like you're going to be really busy. There's a lot to kind of navigate through this month. Of course, as we approach holiday season, many of you are going to be stretched from a kind of dealing with family situations and perhaps other priorities that you have in and around work or commitments in your life. But Queen of Pentacles is coming in to suggest you're going to be able to handle that. You're going to be able to handle it because there is this sense internally of you coming more to a place of peace and reconciliation about anything that's maybe tripped you up through this year or felt like something that's really weighed heavy on your mind, right? If we are looking at relationship situations, there's definitely messages, conversations taking place about the future, about setting a new foundation or having a different approach to something that I think you're being very clear about. There's also this beautiful nurturing energy that's coming through for me with this card. So I feel that this is also a sign that you need to give yourself the quality, sacred space with which to complete any of that emotional inner work that needs to take place. And that it's almost like I see you being able to switch gears really easily. Okay, Queen of Wands could be a fire sign energy here, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But this idea of you being able to switch gears, Scorpio. So, you know, one minute you're in that quiet, contemplative, meditative state where you're thinking through and you're reflecting back and you're taking time for yourself. And then in the next breath, you're literally spinning plates and making it all happen and bringing everything together and still having time to consider what the future looks like. So you're going to have that ability to be very adaptable through this month of December, which I think is going to be refreshing for many of you. It's almost like there's enough energy and dynamism with that Mars and Scorpio placement to really support that. And I think that's important because for those of you that are moving through shifts and changes in regards to relationships, you're going to want to be able to feel grounded. You need to feel in a place of knowing that what you're saying and what you're speaking is coming from your real true center, from that deep kind of solar plexus. I'm in my power energy, which is exuding from the Queen of Wands, rather than, you know, a sort of chaotic, emotional, slightly confused placement. So I'm not picking that up for you. I feel through this month you're becoming much more clear-minded, more direct and more empowered. So if we have a situation where you have a fire sign energy in your world, if this is coming up from a professional capacity, Scorpio, I feel there's opportunity for collaboration to come through. You're perhaps looking at something overseas or considering short travel. You know, that's also activated with third house, to explore the idea of something, right? There's this beautiful healing quality coming in, helping you to tap into your intuitive guidance and specifically your spiritual path. So this is about you also directing, you know, yourself forward in 2020 on a very set quest in terms of knowing this is where I want to be, this is where my energy needs to be in order for me to be able to thrive, because I think that's what you've learned through the themes of 2019. On a personal relationship, front, if you are dealing with a fire sign, we'll look at this more in the extended reading, Scorpio, but if you are dealing with the fire sign energy, the thing I have with both of these queens, and remember this could be male or female, is they're both looking direct in front of one another. They're not looking toward one another. So I still want to say there's perhaps a little bit of a disconnect around communication or being on the same page with something. Although you're both looking in the same direction, I feel like I want to pull in some more emotional intimacy or some sense of like being able to express yourself. And I think that's what the energy of this month is helping you to achieve, to find your voice, like we said, to be able to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards and see how they're reflecting for your December reading, Scorpio. We have a beautiful new moon in Capricorn on the 26th of December, and it's also a solar eclipse. Now, solar eclipse, a beautiful revelationary period, right? And it's also activating this lovely trine with Jupiter and Uranus. And so for me, this is bringing about a real moment. It's almost like the star moment right the way through the month that says, here's a point of illumination just before we reach the kind of 11th hour of this year, for you to really find some sense of healing, forgiveness, tolerance, some sort of breakthrough that you need in order to seize an opportunity to move forward, because there's something coming through. There's a note about you being given a door opening, right? There's a sense of a door opening at that period of time around that new moon, or in the weeks that follow it, because timing can be fluid. So these could be themes that are playing out as we move early into the new year for you as well, Scorpio. So there's this door opening coming from the activation of that new moon. Very lucky, very serendipitous type of energy, and you need to be in a place where you're open to receive it. Now, in your oracle card, we have this beautiful protection energy coming in, but what I'm also seeing is you kind of curled up and needing to heal, needing to recharge, very linked in with that star energy following any kind of event or situation that's maybe felt a bit more challenging to you. But that vulnerability energy could also see you missing where all of this wonderful, bright, new pathways emerging, or, you know, just the I don't know, it's just like the moment where the powerful shift happens. And I want you to be awake and kind of open and fully accepting of that. I do think, though, for those of you that feel the need to withdraw or kind of protect your energy or protect yourself from a situation or a person right now, you're having that beautiful sense of healing that's coming through and being asked to trust in yourself. I also feel for those of you, you know, from a material, a kind of physical perspective, there is this overarching sense of protection in place around your path at the moment. I think you've probably learned an awful lot about what hasn't worked, what won't work, and you are making changes within yourself to make sure that you do things differently, and that's the growth that's necessary. And now as we move into that placement of Jupiter in Capricorn, I think you're going to feel a very different year ahead. You're going to have that sense of, you know, okay, I am prepared to try something again. And I know that this time I can do it in a way that is going to be much more effective and will work in a different kind of way. And just to echo that, we have another oracle card coming through with power, linking for me quite strongly into the tower. So actually that tower energy, there's something about that being able to activate a sense of power within you. You know, we talked about that solar plexus energy coming through from the Queen of Wands. We have a lot of gold coming up in this reading, yellow gold, linking into that lovely chakra, heart center. So I want to help you to activate that so that you're feeling, as we move out of December into the new year, this sense of control about the direction of your life, what it is that you want, what you have to say, and feeling wholly excited about what it is that you can bring into your world from a manifesting perspective. Okay, so it's almost like you need that moment of healing, you need that moment of internal reflection, and then you are poised and charged and ready to move forward and make some big shifts and changes. You know, there's this sense of commitment that comes through really powerfully as we move into next year with Jupiter in Capricorn. And you're being given an oracle card here of it's time to take action. New moon in Aries, specifically linking into that spring of 2020. So I think as we move toward that period of the year, things are going to be moving very quickly for you, Scorpio. So the decisions and choices that you're making through the month of December, even if you're not yet implementing them, we are, you know, a direct arrow into that time when everything's going to start to really move quickly for you. And for me, it's coming into a period of time when you are going to feel much more empowered and clear and understanding that, yes, I'm exactly in the right place that I needed to be, if that makes sense. I think that there is a sense from a personal relationship perspective for those of you that are focused in and around love, of this need to make a decision, a powerful decision at that, about what you need and what changes or adjustments you're prepared to take. I do see you open. I see you open to listening to what somebody else has to say. I see you allowing that sacred space with which to connect with somebody. There is this note about being, I kind of almost want to say there's a cautionary energy that still feels it's around you a little bit, Scorpio. So I don't think for some of you, you're going to be in a position where you're fully decided perhaps through December. If your focus is around a particular relationship where there may have been some challenge. For those of you where relationship is sound, I feel like you're really coming into the same energy with the same goals, the same ideas, and actually the for some of you, you may even be working together or decide to do something together with your partner. But we have an awful lot of powerful energy like coursing through all the way this month and into January, where I think that you are laying out this powerful new vision for yourself. Okay, I hope that has given you some insight into your month of December. I'm going to go ahead and pull some clarifying cards, so we'll see what comes out in the extended for you and where we can go into more detail specifically with relationship connections and, you know, your work and purpose here. So just clarifying the Five of Pentacles with the Knight of Pentacles. So much earth energy in your reading today. Real sense of abundance like coming in, but also this need to feel practical and earthly and grounded. Really important for you through this month of December. That Ace of Wands coming in with the King of Pentacles. I really like that combination if it's for those of you looking at work and changes around business and finance, okay? Even from a relationship perspective, there's some passion being reignited there, okay? Three of Wands is bringing in the Nine of Wands, okay? So again, I'm sort of linking in with this. There may have been some storms in your world and, you know, there is that sense of weariness perhaps at this time of year where you're just needing to move into that place of just downtime, healing. But there's also this beautiful perseverance that I'm being given through that Nine of Wands. Okay, so Justice is coming up with the Tower card. This could be specifically a Libra energy that you might be dealing with or trying to balance something out, even a legal situation that some of you may have been going through or are still going through. We'll look into more detail in the extended with that. We have the Page of Coins, more earth coming through over the star energy here. Feels to me like a gift coming in. There's some sort of gift on its way to you. That gift doesn't necessarily need to be material, Scorpio. This could be a spiritual gift, and a realization, an awakening, somebody showing up on your path to help open the doorway. Okay, we have Seven of Cups energy coming in with the Three of Pentacles. Beautiful sense of creativity coming through with those cards, which I really like. So that being activated for you. We also have the winter solstice or summer solstice, depending on the hemisphere that you're in, on the 22nd of December. Again, bringing things back into balance, that equality of light and dark, linking into the polarity of that Gemini full moon. Okay, we have Three of Coins come up again. So much earth in this reading, Scorpio. You know, with the 8th house being activated with the Gemini full moon, it's the house of secrets. So you could well find some interesting surprise information or news coming to light in and around that period of time. Okay, we have Hanged Man energy over the Queen of Pentacles here. We have Knight of Swords, so this could be an air sign coming through or some travel coming up for some of you. We'll look into that in more detail. Okay, we have Knight of Wands over that protection. Power card is bringing through Seven of Swords. So I feel like this is you gaining mastery, gaining control over a lot of sabotaging or challenging emotional patterns that have been in place. Okay, we have 10 of Cups energy with it's time to take action. If you want to join me for the extended Scorpio, we're going to go into this in more detail and unearth some more messages to help you through this month of December. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Make sure you're and subscribe. I'm also going to be putting out your annual readings through December month, so you won't miss them. If you are subscribed, you'll receive the notification for that. Okay, love and blessings to you. Thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you all. Take care. Bye for now.